Hi Richard, thanks for coming.
Hi Tom, nice to be here.
Hi there Ben, please can you introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Ben. I've been sailing him off for about 2 years now. Been doing all the big events, been to Australia, been to Switzerland, hoping to get to Hawaii this year. Before this I used to sail laser radial, which I did for 5 years. That's it.
Please can you introduce yourself?
I'm Richard Westbury from the UK.
Stop.
That's alright, that's fine. And what's your greatest sailing achievement so far?
Well, I've been fortunate enough to have won a World and European Championships in the laser radial back in 2007. Something that keeps pushing me on to want to win more. So hopefully, if I keep working hard, maybe I can win another one.
I think surviving. I find that sailing is probably the only activity that I don't really hurt myself. Every other activity I tend to injure myself, break my bones. But in terms of achievement, that's going back a long time. Back to my early days of mothing, in my 20s. In 1993, I think, we had the Moth Worlds in the UK. I was young and keen and fit, and I finished a respectable 7th overall. In I think a fleet of maybe 80 boats in those days. That's probably about the highest peak of my mothing anyway.
How old are you?
Not a day over 21. 27.
Ooh, 43 now, but actually I still only act 20 something, I'm sure. Where's the time gone, eh?
Where do you think you're likely to finish at this event?
Well, I came here with a goal of the top 3. The guys I've been training with back at home are very good sailors, and coming here maybe not quite the same pace as them. Run out of testing time, so to finish 3rd here I'd be very happy with. Currently in 3rd right now, but it's going to be hard to stay there.
I was hoping for a top 10, but I think I'm going to be low teens by the look of the results so far. But at least the results are going in the right direction. I think I've had so far an 18, 16 and then a 12, so I prefer a little more wind. I'm kind of at the upper end of the mothing weight spectrum, although I think it's kind of the ideal weight for mothing nowadays. I'm 80 kilos, so I kind of like the breeze in the mid-teens. So yeah, I'd like to get at least a few more top 10 results if I can. If I stop making mistakes, that's all it's about really.
What's your greatest strength on the race course?
I like to think my starting is my greatest strength, mainly because I've spent many years training and racing in big fleets with sort of up to 160 boats. So when you come to a class that's got relatively smaller boats on the racetrack, it seems quite easy for me to get my good starts.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh 80 kilos, so I am at the what I'd regard, I think a lot of people do as well, the ideal weight these days.
How much is your annual sailing budget?
The boat's going to cost me around 15,000, so depending on year to year, but this year's going to be quite expensive for me, probably around 30,000. We've got the Worlds in Hawaii, so that's going to cost up quite a lot of the budget.
What's your annual sailing budget?
However much I can push my credit card, I'd say. Don't really have a budget. Don't take it that seriously.
Where would you grade yourself in the fleet for fitness?
I like to think I'm reasonably fit. I think I can work a bit harder, as we all can. Probably top 5 in terms of fitness, if I can measure it.
I couldn't run to the end of this pontoon, but I could sail a moth all day. I think time in the boat is where my fitness comes from. But I'd say, yeah, I don't have a fitness regime. I should have. Maybe if I did have, maybe I'd go faster. But in all fairness, the pain at the end of the day is pacified with vitamin I. That's ibuprofen, by the way.
How much can you bench press, and do you have a six-pack?
About 120 kilograms.
I don't think I've been near a gym in 20 years, I bet. I honestly wouldn't have a clue, Tom. Seriously.
Can we see your six-pack?
No.
God, no six-pack for me, I'm afraid.
What advice would you give Richard Westerbury to improve their results?
Well, Richard Westbury's been going very fast in a straight line up wind, so he's obviously got the potential to be up there with the best sailors. Yeah, maybe just needs to work on his race tactics a little bit more and work on his arms in the gym.
What advice would you give Ben Pyton to improve his results?
I think Ben's got to stop thinking so much about everyone else, his view of him, and just get his head down and sail his boat. He's obviously got the skills. He's young, he's keen, he's fit, probably one of the fittest guys out there. And I'd just say ignore what everyone says about him and get on with the game in hand.
What do you think of the secretary here at Chocolo Velico Masala?
Very nice, yeah. MILF.
Oh, she's the secretary. Quality.
Do you really think you can beat me?
Famous Tommy. Special offer. Well, it's going to be difficult, but yes, definitely.
We've had a good few ding-dongs, Tom, over the last few years, haven't we?
Definitely.
I'm always on your tail. I'm always screaming crocodile at you. This week it's been octopus, carrier bag, weed, big fish, small fish. Haven't seen any sharks. I'd like to beat you, Tom. I'd be a happy man if I beat you at least in one race.
Are you sponsored? Can we ask that question again? Can we do it again? This one?
Yes.
I didn't ask the question correctly.
Cut that one.
Do you currently have a sponsor, and what kind of return on investment could a sponsor expect to achieve by investing in you?
Yes, I do currently have sponsors. I like to think that their investment gets returned by, helping to support somebody that could potentially be a world champion, and just investing in somebody that's willing to put in the hard work. Obviously, I can offer advertisement space as well, which in such a high speed boat, it's obviously quite attractive for them.
I've had sponsorship offers. I think if I took it more seriously, then I always feel that I need to deliver for that offer of sponsorship. So I generally shy away from sponsorship and just fund the sailing myself, and then I don't have to worry if my results are poor. I don't feel under pressure and have a good time.
That's great, Richie. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Great to be here. Loving the weather at least.
Okay, thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
No worries, no worries.
All right.